A lot of times when we talk about low keys and the chaos that we present on this channel, we talk about the occurrence of such. This is why I made the spreadsheet, because I wanted the stats. The stats tab is really the main reason I wanted to start aggregating all the data to see exactly how often some things are happening. But the one thing I still don't have track of, and nobody seems to have track of, is just how frequently stuff like I'm going to show you today in this video actually happens in Mythic Plus. Because to me, it's a problem for a different reason. All it takes is one person, and that one person is in this key here today. You could have 4 people all trying their best, and you're going to see that in this video, but all it takes is one person to ruin the entire key and leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And that is why we have such a problem in this community, because if one person can ruin the time of an entire 5-player group, and one person can cause 4 people to be unhappy enough to potentially quit pugging, then eventually we have this domino effect where the people who are the problem are just knocking over hundreds of people, kicking them out of content that they wish they were in, and becoming the majority. Let's take a look at that unfold here. So we are actually in a 7 Rookery, and this key is going to be pretty much upended by a single player. Ironic start to the dungeon as well. The player who's going to do it is not even fucking here. This shaman is going to be the focal point of the key, and they are not even currently active right now. This pack is at like 50% before they even get here. It's actually no, way lower than that. Now we do have a death to the frontal. We're kind of surprised to see that kills people on a 7. This key has no fortified. I don't know exactly if the orb thing, the frontal, does more damage or less damage because of fortified, but that guy's actually going to die a second time to it now. So the shaman, who is not here, comes in and he's got some suggestions. Let's put it that way. He's now saying double with lust. He explains why I wasn't here. My bad. I was watching a live stream. Oh, great. That's great. So anyway, as we begin the third pull of the dungeon, I guess, we're going to start seeing problems unfold. And this is ultimately what is going to cause the arguments and everything that goes wrong here in this key. We see the shaman's health bar. Okay, take a look at that health bar. Apparently that flashing red icon means they are being attacked, or they have threat, or I'm not exactly sure what it means, but the person who sent me the email told me to look at that, and yeah, I'm not really sure at this point how or why they would have threat, but they are taking a lot of damage. In fact, 2 people are in the group. Yeah, they're going to survive. We're going to get through this, no problem, but this is going to be a recurring theme in this dungeon. We can see it play out. This time the guy is actually going to pull for the tank. Tank's taking maybe a little bit of time to gather the pack. You're going to see a fire spell. You see the fire spell there. Right there, you see the rook guard is hit with a fire spell by the shaman, and we see the like kind of sword icon on the top left of the frames. So this person's not going to have threat. Like, okay, you pulled the pack, brother. I don't know what to tell you. So you're going to have threat being brought in, taking a lot of damage here, ultimately going to die to the potential threat and the combination of casts and all the other stuff going on in the pack. AFK for the first pull because you're watching a stream, come in with demands, and then immediately start pulling trash for the tank. What do you think the rest of the key is going to look like? Oh, and in case it wasn't obvious, the guy onks, right? Is this an onk? Look at the health he comes back with. This is an onk, right? Okay, cool, sweet. So we just use onk after dying to threat on a pack. That's a great use of that. Onto the boss, we are going to have our 4th death. The paladin's just literally like AFK. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just standing there. Watch it again. Everybody is really tightly stacked, which is supposed to be a good thing, but the paladin just kind of like runs nowhere. He just kind of like barely moves, just gets hit by like 5 swirls. I wonder how many of those swirls would actually take to kill you on this level. We have like a really holy comp. We have 3 paladin, 2 DPS paladins. That's how popular Ret is this season, this expansion, this decade, really. Ret's been killing it ever since that crazy rework in Dragonflight. So boss dies relatively without incident, and now we're gonna see like, wow, the strangest thing. This is the topic of the video here. One person putting inordinate pressure on the group, especially the tank, causing the key to be far harder than really anything Blizzard could do. So we're gonna jump down here, and it's gonna take us a little bit of time. Let's put it that way. We're gonna do it a little bit awkwardly. I think, again, early in the season. This is still during March that this was actually recorded. They're kind of trying to figure out where to go, I think. Some people maybe like jumping from platform to platform here, not really maximizing the time or whatever, you know, you want to say in this area. We don't get the feather buff yet, but it's all good. So the shaman starts spam pinging, all right? The guy's just like pinging that direction, I guess, trying to indicate like, we're skipping here, bro. Like, make sure you don't pull this pack. Tank is not currently here, okay? I'm not exactly sure where they are, but yeah, not currently here. So we are waiting probably a good like 15-20 seconds for them, but they are now down here. Obviously this guy's got happy feet. He is itching to go, and he is actually just gonna walk into the fucking pack and aggro it for them. Like, watch this again. In such a hurry that he's literally gonna walk into getting meleeed. That's insane, dude. What the fuck is that? Okay, cool. Now he's gonna start spam pinging the pack down there. So we're gonna go down here and combine the pack, but in that chaos, you know, we just kind of leave the caster behind us, putting pressure on the tank. tank easily causes, look at the problems here. The tank is almost going to die here. It's making a very, very easy pack into something that's difficult, all because, I mean, I don't know, the guy can't wait 20 seconds in a 7. I get it, not ideal, but things have gotten all split up here to a point where it's no longer optimized. You basically were in such a rush that you ended up making the pack take longer. This is the start of the real problems, okay? So we're going to get into this pack. You're again going to see the shaman want to be the tank. He's going to turn around here and aggro this crusher. It's hard to exactly see if that's what happens, but you see the shaman do a spell, and then you could, it's below my webcam, I guess, but you can see the crusher immediately aggro. At this point in the world that we live in, a lot of people are double pulling here, especially I'd imagine on lower keys. It's not that dangerous. I guess the tank does not want to do that. They're tanking it kind of in the middle of the room. This is a little risky. I think it's very unlikely that this stuff doesn't get aggroed. I think you definitely got to pull these back if you do not intend to aggro the diffusers. But I have no idea how this actually aggroes. I think you're a betting man, you pick the shaman, but I don't really see any indication that that happens. I think kind of we turn our camera just as it happens. So maybe it is a little bit more obvious if we didn't do that, but there's no real indication as to what happens. But as soon as it starts running in, we see that like electric bolt thing from that feather buff that we get, and now we've aggroed basically 3 packs where we wanted to aggro 1. We actually aggro another mob as well while trying to like kind of move out of mechanics. Lust is not even up here, by the way. I mean, I could see some of this topic if you're going to be trying to bloodlust here, but it's not even up because we were fucking AFK for the first pack of the dungeon, so we don't even have bloodlust for this pack. So we are going to have a bunch of deaths here. The other rep, one of the 6 paladins in the group, he's going to go down. Small circles are out, just going to get pulled into this. Another paladin death. Resto monk going down. Basically, yeah, full wipe on this pack, okay? So full wipe on a pack that we did not even seem to plan to pull. Again, really just due to the chaos of it. Just due to the fact that the tank is not the one choosing to pull what they want to pull. DPS taking the key into their own hands. And what do you think is going to happen here? Let's take some votes, okay? So we're going to try to do the same thing again, and watch it. 3, 2, 1. There it is again. We're going to do it again. Okay, so we're going to do it again. We just wiped to it. I mean, to be fair, I don't know exactly why we wiped to it. It's just hard, I guess. But we do have bloodlust up this time. That guy's going to fucking die in the first like 10 seconds of the pull, so we're still not going to bloodlust. That would have been a pretty good time for Ankh, huh? You could use it there and then bloodlust and salvage the pack that we just pulled. Such a mess. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, we're struggling to get this healing gone, and just going to have another death. Healer now down again to this pack. So, like, I mean, we're close to full wiping to this twice now. And so we're going to get a comment on this, okay? And I think this is the spark that ignites the powder keg, because up until this point, there hasn't been a single word said. So Monk says, can we please let the tank pull? Great advice. I mean, regardless, if the tank is pulling a 1 mob at a time, that's still probably fine to upgrade to 7. And all we're doing here is just causing unnecessary deaths. We have our fearless leader in the dungeon. He's going to indicate, hey, there's trash on the left and trash on the right with the double pings, and he's going to ping the boss. Look at that. So basically instructing you how to do the dungeon. Thank you for telling me that these trash mobs need to be combined in the boss. Guess what? He does it on his own yet again. Literally going to walk down there and aggro a boss as a damage dealer. How fucking insane are you? Like, actually crazy. All right, cool. So just aggro, gets meleeed by a boss, still getting meleeed by the boss. Tank struggling to pick it up at this. I mean, honestly, struggling, quote unquote. If it was me, I would just let this fucking guy die. You know, just remember the question from before. Can we please let the tank pull? No is the answer. Of course not. Shaman who pulls trash, gets meleeed by it and nearly dies, says, calm down for fuck's sake, dude. Then says that. I'm not gonna say that out loud, but the monk is saying, stop pulling shit. The shaman says, nah. I mean, it's actually crazy to say, no, I won't stop pulling things. Trying to justify it, says he knows nothing about funnel damage. What the actual fuck did you just say in a 7? More funnel equals dead boss. Oh shit, is that how it works? Great response, by the way, here. I love this. DPS pulling in ways tank isn't ready for equals dead party. Great. I love math. Doing some algebra here, trying to find the variable. What is the variable in this key? You guys tell me. Shaman says those ads have 0 health. Literally. That's not how literally works. Like non-elite mobs. But go off. Tell me more. Whenever anybody says but go off, you know they're worked up. Anyway, guy still thinks he's a fucking tank. Literally gonna get meleeed by a boss again. It's actually crazy to say no, I won't stop pulling things. Like, that's actually insane. Anyway, the group leader now weighs in. This is actually really funny. The guy says, no need to rush. I don't care about time. That's actually kind of funny. Unsung part of this. Respectably, no chatter from the tank as well. Really, really impressive aggressive here, to restrain ourselves here. This is a really frustrating situation to be in as a tank. I can tell you, I've been in it many, many times. It's almost like you can't win here because this guy thinks you don't know what you're doing. This guy thinks he is better at your role than you are, even though he literally can't do your role. And no matter what you say or do, the outcome will always be the same. There's simply nothing to say here that is going to be productive, and you chose right. That's awesome. Boss going to get a karma kill here. I'm not even really sure how this guy dies, to be honest. I guess he's just not getting healing at this point, but it looks like he might actually run into a puddle there. That guy's going to go down for our 18th death in the 7. Actually kind of still on pace here. I mean, this would be a decent split if we came out of this on a higher key, so I think you could probably still upgrade this, but guess what he's going to do again? Here we go. I mean, like, it's actually crazy. Like, it really is getting crazy now. He's at not even at full health, walks into it, flame shocks or something like that, gets meleeed by the Ascendant. Sweet. All right, cool. So almost dead again. If this was an actual fortified key, I think this guy would have probably died like 7 or 8 times just to getting meleeed by things. Far from over. Here we go. Guy saying, go to my ping, okay? Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to listen to you now. These mobs, I don't even know where he's pinging. We can't actually see it. He says, are non-elite, go. Oh, okay, so he's pinging the Voidstone. He's basically telling the tank how to pull the area. I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah, you should try to combine this. I originally didn't do this either. I felt like getting the big buff on the Voidstone was like a bad idea. But okay, so we're going to finally have the first comment from the tank. I think it's respectable, you know, whatever. You tried your best to stay calm and not let this insane backseater just ruin this key. The guy's in the process of backseating when they actually get their first reply from the tank as well. Look at this. We're sitting here just like AFK for like 15 seconds. The tank says, dude, the way you are acting, I don't care what you have to say. That is very calm and very mild compared to what I might have said here. As they say that, Backseater says, get on horsey, like trying to tell them how to navigate through the dungeon as well. So we're aggroing like all kinds of stuff here. 2 civilian packs, the crusher pull on the far wall, and then like the actual pack that the guy was pinging. This guy like doesn't wait, so he's like unloading on these civilians, I guess, and then probably has threat again. You can see that flashing red icon, so that guy is going to get meleeed a bunch. I mean, I think he's probably taken more damage than the tank at this point, and he is going to die to that and then leave the fucking party. I don't know much about like low keys, and I certainly don't know much about timers at this point in the season, but yeah, I think it's pretty clear that we could actually still upgrade this, and this guy letting his, like, I mean, just ego, right? Like, what else can you say about this, brother? You're not the fucking tank. Like, I'm sorry. Only the tank can choose the things that you are trying to choose for the tank. That's just not how it works. Love the paladin weighing in on this too. This is really funny. This guy is actually the hero of the key. He says his strats are super bad. Okay, I love it. I love that he also has deserter. Like, what the hell? Did he try to do it on heroic? He thought maybe you could put the key in the heroic dais. So we're not done. We're not done. The key is not over. The monk says, let's finish. Fuck that guy. Sorry about your key, bro. Rep Pally with deserter says, I agree. Let's finish. No problem at all, mate. Thank you guys for sticking it out to the end. And this is ultimately why the theme of the video is what it is, because 4 people want to continue. They want to finish this key. The one guy like literally doesn't even care about score, or maybe he's just here for gear. I don't know what the motivations are, but this is a respectable position to have at this point, especially in the season. We want to finish this. They're going to do the rest of the trash as 4, and they're going to have no deaths, no mistakes, no arguments, no problem. You know what I mean? Look at this. If this group just had these 4 people the whole time, they would have probably upgraded this key. You know, that's how one person can ruin an entire group of people. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying here, because all it takes is one person to make the rest impossible. And I don't know how everybody feels about this after that, but like, yeah, you could easily see these people maybe being frustrated with this, not wanting to keep hugging, not wanting to risk doing their key, you know, whatever the problems there are with the Mythic Plus system, it could all stem from just one player's interactions with 4. And so really sadly, because of this situation, they are not going to be able to kill this boss. I never actually realized how much harder this boss is without a full group. The problem is the tank gets the circle, okay? And so now we have like a huge onus on actually doing everything perfectly, meaning everybody's going to be super spread out. The healer is not going to be able to like accurately heal people. It looks definitely doable, but yeah, this is a lot harder. And I mean, just the DPS requirement alone, because now you have one less player doing damage to the shield and burning the boss. Any other boss, I think any other boss, and they finish this with 4 people. They're going to try it a bunch too. You see the paladin says one more try. Like, I mean, they're trying their hardest, but ultimately the stress of the fight with 4 people is just insurmountable. I don't know that you could even kill this, honestly. Like, the damage requirements on the fight are so complicated with 4 people. You're going to be fighting this boss for like 15 minutes. So they're going to ultimately wipe to this multiple times and then just give up, which is really sad. And really the cherry on the sundae of this topic, because if this guy just stayed, if this guy just didn't speak, I don't know, like so many ways that they can just finish this. I think they upgraded too, honestly. I really do. I think if they just have everybody actually trying their best and not sabotaging the key actively, even from the point that we talked about there, 10 minutes coming out of that split, yeah, I think they upgrade this. I don't know, it's just really sad. It's really crazy how one person can absolutely sink a ship. No matter what your position is on this, like the facts are the facts, man. You're not the tank. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know you wish you were or something, but it's just not the case. I would encourage anybody who's ever been in this boat before as a damage dealer, especially, to just fucking tank. Like, this is why I started tanking in the first place, because I was like, I think I can do better than the people I was playing with. And once you get in that mindset, like, you'll never go back. It's always going to frustrate you. And yeah, once you have full control over it, you'll never like want to relinquish it again. That's why I never play DPS, because it's just not fun. And then you avoid situations like this. It's a win-win for everybody. Thank you very much for submitting this. Thank you guys for all thinking of this channel, man. I love exposing stuff like this, but I love raising these topics for discussion because it feels so obvious to me that these things are problems. And I don't know how to stop people from wanting to contribute in them, but you have to see this. Like, when 4 people are able to have their time ruined by 1 player, those 4 people need to stand up, man. Like, you are the majority in this situation. You need to not let these people ruin your day. You need to not let them impact the way you play the game, and you need to push back against their behavior. You need to tell them that they're wrong, and you need to let maybe even the company know that they're wrong and not tolerate it. Don't quit the game over this. Don't let these people ruin your time. Don't let them impact the way you think about World of Warcraft, because that's winning for them. That's them doing everybody a disservice, including themselves, because then eventually they'll only be stuck with other people like this. Could you imagine if there was just 3 damage dealers all trying to pull different packs for the tank and then 1 key? That's eventually the end game of this strategy. When 1 person is able to ruin the time of 4 others, and they erode the social fabric of the game to such a degree that they're the only people left, then pugging simply doesn't function anymore. That's what we're trying to avoid here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.